Hey guys, welcome to our 9th podcast. I'm Jenny Galindo.
I'm Brandon Castellanos.
I'm Bryan Castellanos.
And I'm Jerry Galindo.
Galindo.
Yeah, I like because I feel like I'm very feminine in my intros for the past couple of
I'm Jerry Galindo.
Yeah, I'm
taking some voice lessons?
Yeah, sadly. I am.
Okay, cool. All right, so stuff we're going to be talking about today. We're going to talk about Mario Odyssey now that we played it a little bit more.
Yes, give a full,
Completed it.
More thoughts on it.
Yes, we talk about Stranger Things now that most of us have seen it all.
I'm still on episode 2.
Okay,
What are you doing with your life?
We'll just talk about.
I was 100%ing Odyssey, okay?
We'll just vaguely, mention.
It's okay.
Some
We're
of
talking
this.
about Thor, Ragnarok, and Jerry actually hasn't seen Thor.
So yeah, it's like a trade-off.
Yes.
See?
And then we have some Star Wars news. We're going to talk about games that were announced at Games Week in Paris. So we have Spider-Man, The Last of Us 2, Detroit, and God of War. So lots of stuff to talk about.
A lot of stuff, yeah. Let's get rolling. Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about Mario Odyssey.
Recap.
Bryan,
Yes.
Mario Odyssey was phenomenal. I loved it in all aspects. There's so many things you can do. And it really rewards the player based on how they want to play. There's certain areas where you can only get to if you understand the platforming and some of the mechanics, but it doesn't require that you know the platform mechanics to beat the game. I will say that an 8-year-old can beat it while, the same way that, like, me, I can beat it. But, of course, I'm going to be doing a lot more things, but it still doesn't take away from the game. It's basically works with anyone at any skill level. And it's really just a lot of fun. I put in, I don't know how many hours into it, 100%ing it because I wanted that little satisfaction. So, yeah. And I got the Easter egg, which was really cool.
Nice. I haven't 100% of the game. I've gotten pretty far. But I will agree with you. I like how there's so many ways you can approach each level at your own pace and at your own skill level. Like, I mean, let's just say, like, there's a part where there's a bridge and a plank. You can take the route, or you can do, like, a nice cool little jump, throw your hat, dive, bounce on the hat, throw it again, dive, and just jump over the bridge entirely, not even bother with the bridge.
Yeah.
So things like that, as far as, I've played, I like it. I thought I was going to just kind of go through the game, not go through the game, but not be a completionist and 100% it. But I found myself trying to find every moon before I progress each level. So it's a great game so far. I really, really like it.
I also like how in each level there is always a certain set number of villains or a certain set number of things that you can control and you can take over. And even when you take over those characters, it just adds to the opportunities you have to, like, clear the game or, like, clear the level, because it gives you so many opportunities. Like the wooded area, you have that onion. The onion basically sprouts legs and you can get to higher places. So instead of, like, going the long way around, it's like the roots up here. You grow the onion, you jump out, you throw your cap, you dive, you bounce off the cap, you dive, and you're on top of that. So you just that whole area. Yeah.
I could not. I knew what you were talking about. I could not do it because no. I pop out of the onion and it wouldn't let me bounce on the cap. It would just pick it up. He'd dive and just pick it up.
Yeah, well,
so yeah, I still need to get good, kind of. No, but it's a great game, guys. If you haven't played it.
Well, Jen?
I have to say, I'm on the same boat with you. Was where I wanted to just kind of get through the game, but as I'm playing it, I'm like, okay, I need this many more moons. I don't know what it is. There's something about, like, finding moons that's so rewarding in the game.
It's
like,
an experience in itself,
yeah, it's cool. And I really like it so far. I have not finished it. Right now I'm in Metro City, so I'm not sure exacally how far is that in
Metro
the game?
Kingdom.
Metro Kingdom.
And sorry, what? That's like
I'd say about halfway.
Yeah, that's like 1/3 of the way.
And that
It's
so far
close.
is my favorite.
Jeez, I'm still in the
Metro
wooded. I'm still in the
It's
wooded
really
kingdom.
Oh, you're right behind her. So.
So yeah, I really like it. I'm excited to finish it.
I was completely fine with not following, not being a completionist until Bryan corrupted me, and basically, made me want to, like, collect everything inside of the game. So right now I'm standing on, like, 600 out of the 1,000 moons.
It's 999.
Yeah, 999 moons, and I like it a lot. It's after finishing the story, I still kind of prefer, like, Game of the Year, Breath of the Wild over Mario Odyssey. Just because I feel like Mario Odyssey is, I don't know, like I said earlier, I like a dark story.
It's for a different audience.
And it's for a whole different audience. But I will say there's something that happens at the way end of the game that is a great call out to N64 we get Mario 64, like with the you'll visit an area basically that a lot of people.
There's a lot of throwbacks.
Yeah.
One of my favorite throwbacks, and I will not spoil it. I will just say, if you get the game, you'll know when it'll ask you to participate in a festival. Do the festival. Yeah. That is all I will say.
Okay. Yes, I know what you're talking about. That's
I've seen it. I haven't played it, but I've seen it, and it's glorious.
It's really cool. I think that's what you were playing here, and we were like, "What?" Freaking out.
Yeah. I got upset at Jerry because I've been trying to like not spoil certain moments and certain things in the game.
I don't care.
For
Jerry
Brandon and Jenny, because me experiencing it for the first time, I was just so excited seeing this and that. Whereas Jerry was kind of just playing it here on the big screen, and here come Brandon and Jenny along, and it's like, oh wow, that's here, or oh wow, you can do that, oh wow, there's this person, and I'm just like, Jerry.
First off, it's not my fault. I was just trying to play the game, and you all were watching my screen. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like you can still get that ruined for you, but then there's nothing quite like doing it yourself. There's something like so rewarding about that. Like I remember I saw some stuff on YouTube before the game came out, and I was like, damn it, I shouldn't have seen that. But then now I'm like, okay, well, it's a lot better now because like it's me actually exploring.
I mean, like I said, I've seen I think a good amount of the Easter eggs, and I wouldn't say spoilers, but like events that you would think, oh man, that would have been so much greater if I experienced it myself. But I think that encouraged me to want to, do exactly. I want to get all the moons to get to those certain areas.
Yeah. The only thing is, you guys are like lucky because if you guys have any questions, you can ask me and I'll like help you out.
Well, Bryan, don't give yourself too much credit. I can ask the internet.
Well, yeah, or you can do that. I did it. Look, I beat the game without having to look up anything on the internet. I want to do it all by myself, which I did, and oh my god, there's some of those moons took me like 2 hours to get.
I mean, you asked a friend for help too.
I didn't ask a friend. I told him where I was, and he basically showed me where to get them.
He
told me how to get one of them because one of them was actually very difficult.
That are really hard to find.
Some of them are, Some of them are really hard.
So I know one of the picture ones that was in the Sand Kingdom. That one took me like 2 hours to find because I didn't understand it. I was so stupid. Yeah. And it's such a difficult one. I showed Jerry where to get it. Yeah. And that was like one of the hardest moons I had to find. Other than that, one of my friends helped me with another picture moon and another one in the Sand Kingdom that you get later. But even then, that one is like really stupid. Like I don't know how the guy thought of it, but he did. Yeah.
So you've beaten the game, Jerry. You've beaten the game. Does this game stand with the other great Mario games like Sunshine and 64 Mario? I don't know if you played 64 Mario.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if you were too young for that one.
Well, I'll let Bryan answer. They didn't know the long jump, so I mean, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
64. I did on the DS.
That's right. That's right.
Mario 64
there was,
on the DS, that was
the OG 64 Mario.
Yeah.
That was
64.
On 64, yes.
But it's the same game.
Yeah. Well, not entirely. You can play as Luigi, Wario, and I think it's Yoshi, if I'm not mistaken. Also Mario on DS.
That was talking decade.
That wasn't a feature in the original one. But go on.
But it's still the same story.
Yeah. So, I will say it stands up there. It's been one of the better Mario games in as of late. Because the last one I played was Mario World or 3D World, which was on the Wii U, which was fun for what it was. But I mean, it wasn't anything spectacular to me. Whereas this one, I thoroughly enjoyed. I mean, 100%ed 3D World. I 100%ed this Mario game too, and I really like this one just because the way the mechanics work and there's so many different ways to approach the same scenario. I just like that aspect of it. I don't know if it is better than 64 or Sunshine, based on the fact that those are like very near and dear to me. Because I played them so much, but I never 100%ed them because I was a kid. I might go back actually now and play Sunshine and try to get all the shines. But I will say it does stand up there. It does stand up there with, and I think it will be one of the better Mario games.
Yep. Like I said, I haven't beaten the game, but the game has stood out to me. And I mean, even from the get-go, from the trailer, just watching it, the first teaser we got for it, like I immediately knew, okay, this is gonna be this looks like a special Mario game. It like took me back to, my days playing 64 Mario as a kid. Mm-hmm. So like that game, that looks good. That looks great. And I think I even told you maybe like years prior that they had not made a good Mario game since Sunshine. And I mean, you can argue that Galaxy was, the Mario game after, which I never played. It just never enticed me.
I played it, and I remember not being fully enticed by it. Like, I remember that. I remember not being, like, super on board with it. But I will say Mario Odyssey, like, it is up there with the greats. And I think, if I just let it settle, I think, eventually maybe in my mind it will beat Sunshine in 64. I just gotta wait a bit.
Yeah, I as right now, I can't say if it beats him. But there's something. Each one stands out in their own way, and I really can't say which is better than the other one. Yeah. So that's, I guess, where I stand. Maybe when I beat it, I can decide. But as right now, I can't.
I would say it's standing next to Breath of the Wild. I think it has a better chance of getting Game of the Year.
You think so?
Only because it's open more to a bigger audience.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Breath of the Wild is more for like a specific. You have to have a specific skill set.
Specific demographic.
Yeah, and I think anybody can pick up Odyssey. Like you were saying, you're like more of a
you can play in your own way
gamer, and you can play all the moons, and then someone that's a little kid, they can just like get through all the kingdoms and not have to just worry on finishing the game.
Yeah.
So I think so.
I think Nintendo kind of pulled on the whole break, like how they kind of talked about Zelda. They were kind of like, we're breaking the conventions of Zelda. I feel like they kind of did that with this game. Lots of things are different, and if you finish the story, you know what I'm talking about. Like this is a completely like odd story that they end up going with, and it's one that's very modernized. It's one that's like never been in a Mario game before. It's kind of like I don't know. It's so weird. That's just in the story, but in the whole way the game works, it's so different. Like now you could say it's just like Sunshine or I don't know. But I feel like it's really different, like, as in you're traveling around a world and then you're going possibly out of that world. And you are going to all these different kingdoms that have really similar aspects to, like, Earth. Like, it's kind of themed to be like Earth. So, and the way they were marketing the game was kind of like where Mario was in our planet. So it's really weird. Like they were breaking the conventions with this game.
You weren't confined to the Mushroom Kingdom.
No, that was really cool. They encouraged you to like, fly across the world, which is really different from, I don't know. I mean, I'm a person that's played most of the Mario games on the Wii U, like Mario 3D World and just Super Mario Bros. On the Wii U, and playing this game, and then also playing some of the N64, Mario 64. This is a whole different game. I feel like it's a breath of fresh air. Like it is. It's a way of like just saying like there's one part of the game where you go to Bowser's Kingdom. That's all I'm going to say, because everyone knows you're going to have to go to Bowser's Kingdom. Yeah. When you think of Bowser's Kingdom in any other Mario game, you think of a very
fire.
You think of fire, which is, I mean, you think of fire, but you also think of a castle, and you think of like stones and nothing else, and a very generic looking kind of evil building. If you play Mario Odyssey, they took a very awesome approach to his I'm
excited now to get to that level.
Right, Bryan? Like they could have went.
It's very unique.
Yeah,
I will say that it's different. Cool. It's different from what I would have expected. In past games.
But like, you liked it.
Bowser's Castle. I will say, I liked it. So I like the kingdom, but there's one moon there that once you go back, it pisses me off because I remember that took me a while to get.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about, and I told you, I was like, I got it the first time I went.
No.
I'm talking about the coins. The coins, remember? Because there was one dangling.
Yeah. I'm talking about the coins.
All right, so we need to wrap up only because we have a lot to talk about. But I feel like we talk about Mario.
No, I know. I just do want to say, as a PlayStation fan, I want to give this year to Nintendo because, one, great job on releasing a great launch title, releasing a successful game system. When they'd been in ruins for a while, and then with this Mario Odyssey, they took it. So I would give credit where credit's due. That was good job, Nintendo.
From what I read that Odyssey is now the best-selling Mario game.
Oh yeah.
They completely just redefined the.
That's awesome.
I don't know. I'm not sure like the numbers or what, because I know. How many times have they? 64 has probably been sold. I don't know how many times. Yeah. So for them to outsell that is crazy. But okay, so next we're gonna talk about Stranger Things. So let's not do spoilers. I guess just like a recap of the season and compared to season 1. I personally loved it, but I don't know.
You also went to sleep towards the last
I was actually sleep deprived. I was running on like 2 hours of sleep.
I liked it a lot. I think it was great. I liked it a lot. They explored tones questions you had in the previous season, and they kind of answered them, but made some new questions to ask from this season. But yeah, I mean, it's very emotional from what I saw online. Lots of people were crying during it. I didn't cry personally. I only cried like a few times. Actually, I cried in the first episode, so I probably shouldn't be talking. But I liked it. It was good.
I did. One of the questions I asked myself was, what's better for me, the first season or second season? I mean, of course, like everyone says the first season is better. I'll agree with them, just because it's a great season. Season 2 is great, but I feel like from maybe the fourth episode, you kind of get, okay, well, this is the direction they're going to go with. For a while, you're kind of like, okay, where are they going with this? So I mean, I wasn't lost, but I mean, I enjoyed the ride from the first like 3-4 episodes. But you know, the first season, it was from the get-go, you're like, okay, there's a problem. This is what's going on. You know, Will goes missing. Spoilers if you haven't seen the first season. Which, if you haven't, what are you doing?
The first 5 minutes of the episode. Like, just watch the first episode in 5 minutes.
So, that being said, I was, completely enticed to finish the season. You know, one episode after the other, I was like, I have to watch. Not to say that I wasn't like that for this season. I was still like, okay, let's watch next episode. Without spoiling too much, there was one episode I feel like they could have really done without. I think you guys probably know what I'm talking about. It could have I get it. It's some interesting concept, but the way they start the season is they kind of show, okay, they might go that direction, but they don't really touch upon that till later on, and it really doesn't make a big impact on the storyline. I think the overall outcome of the story would have been the same without that episode. It wasn't a bad episode. I just think it was really, like a big fluff piece almost.
I think that episode, like, they hoped for it to be more, like, climactic, but I didn't think it really did much for the story. I didn't really care for it.
That's why if the season kind of revolved around that more, that was, like, I guess, the key story arc, maybe, but it wasn't. And, I mean, to start the season like that, it was kind of like, okay, that was weird. But I mean, like I said, it wasn't a bad season at all. I liked it. I'm excited for season 3, and I hope we see more. Hopefully, they do touch it more on the other whatever, I guess, kids who they ran the experiments on.
Oh yeah, and then we also got new actors too. So we got the girl, I forgot her name, the redhead. Max. We got Max, and then we got her brother, and who else is new?
The Red Ranger.
Yeah.
Okay, more spoilers.
What are the new characters?
It's not a spoiler. It's the actor.
The actors?
Yeah, what new actors do we get?
I mean, that's about it. Mad Max and her brother are basically the new characters of the story. Along with that,
they had to make. Well, I don't think this is ruining anything, but her brother is kind of like the new villain, and they made the other guy.
Oh, Steve.
They made Steve more of like the likable character.
Yeah,
and I don't know. Him. I hated him in the first season. Second season, like. You just through the episodes, you kind of just like fall in love with him, and you're like, oh, cool. Like,
I don't know. Yeah. I'm completely different on that.
Really?
I still hate him.
Why?
I liked him.
I don't like him. I never liked it. I hated him in the first season, and now I hate him in the second season. So I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm weird.
I've only seen the first episode, so.
But I mean, it's not really spoiling too much, is it?
I see what they're trying to do with Steve, though. They're basically trying to humanize him.
Yeah, like he's heartbroken, and he's trying to help the kids out.
I don't know. It's not my cup of tea.
Cup of tea.
I don't know. But I love the new love.
Interest?
Yeah. No. Wait. The new love. The new pair?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
They're cute too.
Well, I'll just say this. In the first season...
What?
Your
hold on. Intermission real quick. Hold on. Let's see. Hopefully it's still going.
Technical difficulties.
So basically in the first episode we saw
I think it's still going now.
We saw
Did it?
Yep, we're good.
Are you sure?
Yep, pause it. I see the timer roll.
Alright.
Okay.
We saw
they get to see that.
But it's not it's not moving though.
No, it is.
Okay. Alright, never mind.
Oh yeah,
you got
it's just very small.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are we gonna keep that in?
Yes,
we should.
Okay,
yes.
So Jonathan and Nancy in the first season kind of had their love interest, kind of were in love for a couple. Yeah, they were. They kind of had this like symbiotic
Towards the
love
end.
interest when they were fighting for Will.
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of
And
like,
I
then
don't
they-
think it was a love interest. I think it was a mutual interest on I'm trying to find Will and I'm trying to find Barb.
But weren't they like holding
They stuck
hands and
together,
stuff?
and yeah, they held hands.
Because she was scared. She just saw the Demogorgon.
Well, they obviously liked each other. They ended
They
up
obviously
together.
liked each other, though. I mean, come
They ended
on.
up dating.
He was coping. He was like helping.
Like, I know in real life, are you talking about in the series?
No, in real life.
Yeah, I know.
Like they're together in real life.
They're
I know.
together in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I did not know that.
I
Oh my
want to
God,
say they
I'm so
started
happy.
dating in season 1 because they've been together for 2 years.
Okay, I don't know. I feel like okay, fine, but there was a hint of that in the
Sure.
first season.
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of surprised that she wound up with Steve, other than Jonathan,
Yeah.
at the end of season 1.
Well, it's because Steve is the the adolescence.
Spoilers for season 1.
Yeah,
Yes.
spoilers.
But again, it's been out for a year. What
No,
you guys
yeah, I
deserve
don't-
to get spoilers if you haven't
Yeah.
seen it.
Ouch.
Jesus.
But that's they explore that into the season and maybe a little more.
Yeah, I
A little
think
more.
A little more.
Little more.
Maybe put a
So
little thumbnail right there, spoilers.
I think they made everything bigger. Like the story is bigger. Like
Well,
the production looks
was bigger, yeah.
nicer.
they said in the podcast they only had one person in charge of visual effects for the first season, and now with season 2 they have like 20 people in
Nice.
charge.
That's
So,
really cool.
It's
It
they're
is.
growing.
Mhm.
It is, and I will say, speaking of growing, I will say I did appreciate that the characters themselves did grow, not even just physically, but like
Mhm.
it's not like they completely brushed off what happened in season 1. It's like, oh hey, yeah, I'm still me. At the beginning, Mike's still a little, like kind of like a not
Yeah.
down, but
He's
you
a
can tell
lost.
he's not he's not the same kid he was in
Yeah.
episode 1 of Stranger
Yeah.
There's
Things.
like emo.
I wouldn't say emo, but he's
Well, that's what they call him in the podcast. They're like everyone referred to him as emo Mike.
he has weight on his shoulders, definitely.
Yeah.
With losing 11, and same with the other
More
characters.
spoilers
They've
for
they've
season
grown, so I appreciate that.
I think Will, out of all of them, like he grew a lot as a character in the show.
Oh, and
We should.
Winona Ryder, like, it's so
So
sad.
is it?
Well, so many times and this isn't spoiling anything, but so many times in this season, since she was so heartbroken over losing Will in season 1. Now she's like every second she's with Will. She's like, "Are you there? Oh my
Yeah.
God. Okay,
Yeah.
just making sure." And I'm just like, "God, that's so emotional." I don't know. I wanted to cry.
Also,
Start crying.
Speaking of
Yeah.
Winona Ryder, do we have the answer to that? What award show was it where she was like looking around?
No
like,
one knows, but lots of
No.
people think she was on drugs.
She probably was.
She deserves it. And she said in Stranger Things, every day for like 200 days of shooting, she was just crying. Like she would have to just cry to get into the role for like 3 hours straight.
She's so. I can't picture anyone else playing her role
Yeah,
though. Like
I
she's
know.
such a good motherly
She
figure.
plays that motherly, like
Mhm.
I'm gonna fight for anything for my
I will
son.
say that, yeah. I think every character has a what do you call it?
A quirk.
Yeah, a quirk, and I can't see anyone else playing that character. From Winona Ryder to is it, David Harbour, is that his name? He's freaking great as the
yeah, he's
sheriff,
great.
and the same with the kids. So
And now he's gonna be Hellboy, right?
yes, he's gonna be Hellboy. That's awesome.
Spoilers for Hellboy.
Spoilers for Hellboy.
Ooh, Hellboy. The two people in the audience.
All right.
I know, right?
So, do you think before we move on, would you say it's better than season 1, or where would you compare it to season 1?
I like season 1 better, but it's not by much. It's
Yeah.
like season 1's here and season 2's like right here.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, like I said, the whole story arc took a while to pick up to where we realized, okay, this is where they're going. Like I said, there's one episode I feel like they could have done without. So just for those things, I will say I like season 1 better, but like I said, not by much. And also with season 1, we didn't expect anything.
Oh, the classic will always stay like the best of the series, in my opinion. I think season 1 just had so much better way of like, I don't know, because season 1 kind of established who these characters were, and who they what their problem was, and how they were gonna get back Will. And I think it was also it was a lot more emotional in my opinion.
Really?
So I feel
I don't know. Maybe it was the whole.
But I've seen that a lot of people say season 2 is more emotional. But I don't know. In my opinion, I just thought season 1 was more emotional. And the whole 11.
They
being,
kind of talk about 11 more in her past.
Yeah.
And I really liked that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just think the classics will always stay as the best of the series. But I agree with Brandon. It's basically just by a very small margin.
Yeah, well, classics usually stay better. It's because you go into the show
You don't
not
know what to
knowing
expect.
what to expect.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah.
so if it's something that's good, it's like, oh wow, that was amazing.
You have a standard.
Good becomes amazing because it's like, your bar was down here.
Yeah.
But the show is up here, so your standard for it gets really high. And from what you guys are saying, season 2 is still good, and I do plan on watching it, so I don't really have a say on if it's better than season 1 or 2. But I will say that I am looking forward to watching the rest of it. Now that I beat Odyssey, I have time. So
yes, do it. Okay, so
All right,
Thor Ragnarok.
On to Thor. What did you guys think?
Oh my
I
god.
loved it.
Oh, did you?
I thought it was
You
one
want
of
to
the
take this one?
best Marvel movies since I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I
Thor.
haven't seen
It was it was a nice movie. I liked it a lot. I will say, it was a lot. It had action and it was also very comedic, which I liked. And this is for my cousin if he's watching. I'm sorry, I don't know if it'll beat Star Wars. We have this ongoing thing where my cousin.
It's definitely not better than Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Don.
Yeah, our cousin was convinced that Thor Ragnarok will be movie of the year, and I was like, I don't know.
No, the best Marvel movie.
Yeah, or he said movie of the year.
Oh, I don't know
It's
about
hard for
that.
it to be
Yeah.
the
He's
best
like
Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I don't know, because so far my favorite movie this year has been Logan. Logan has been my favorite movie.
That was
this
this year.
year.
Yes, it was.
March.
I feel like it was like years
It's
ago.
my favorite movie of the year. And he has an ongoing thing that where he's saying that Thor is going to be movie of the year, but no, me and Brandon are on board that Star Wars is going to be movie of the year.
Yeah.
But all in all,
Episode
Thor was
8.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I haven't seen it yet.
No one's seen it yet.
I
So
think
Thor,
they already have.
a lot of action, very comedic, and I will say it is worth a watch. So if you guys haven't
Really?
seen it, I recommend going to check it out.
Actually, I missed. Not that I missed it, but I saw little snippets here and there of the second movie. I got the overall gist of it. I don't know if you remember, we were working at the movie theater,
Yeah.
so I was like going in, coming out, going in, coming out. I was on the clock when I watched it, so I go in and like, oh, we need help in the back, so I come out, then go back in. So I caught a good portion of it. I caught the ending. I know it was more about the ether, which is like I think the second Infinity Stone they touched upon. It was cool. I think there was a lot of like I guess things I didn't think they touch upon, like okay, like Thor's hammer breaking. I was like, oh wow, I thought that never happened. I can't. I was gonna say something else, but I forget you haven't watched it. I'm not gonna say that.
What do you mean?
But there's a lot. No, nothing.
Is it the villain? I like the villain.
The villain,
She
yeah.
was
Okay, a lot of people
cool. I
have been
liked
telling
her.
me, not even you. A lot of people have just been like, "You're gonna love it because there's a very strong female."
She's cool.
Not.
I
I
do like
wouldn't
her.
even say just because she's a girl, but she's like a cool villain. Like
Yeah.
she's intimidating.
I
she's
really like
scary.
yeah.
And
As a
they-
villain aspect, I'd be like, yes. Like I would probably.
Dominate me.
They didn't really. I feel like with a lot of villains, they kind of sexualize them a little bit, especially if they're girl. Well, because they're women, they sexualize them. But I didn't get that at all
They
from
have
her,
to.
and I thought that was cool.
That's
They
what
didn't.
makes
Yeah.
the movie money.
That's what makes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, there was a lot of comedic moments. I don't know. I like comedy, but there's
Yeah.
some times where I feel it's a little too played out. I think there was a little too much on the comedy. Not a
That's
bad
good.
thing.
That too.
That's what got you turned off with Ant-Man, right?
No, I love that man.
Oh, you did?
I love that man.
I was the one that did.
Oh,
really
you were the
like-
one that disagreed.
Yeah.
No, but here's the thing. Like Ant-Man, I don't know. It's Paul Rudd. I kind of
You have to.
you
You
kind of
have
go
to.
in expecting okay, there's gonna be
Yeah.
some with the cast. You had Paul Rudd, Michael Pena. So
Don't forget Stanley.
he's in every
He's
Marvel
in every
movie.
Marvel.
Well, point is, I don't know. Point is, Ant-Man hadn't been established, so I guess I was open to the idea. Thor already had, his 2 movies plus the Avengers movies. He's already been established, so
Yeah.
I really wasn't expecting, too much comedy out of it. Which again, not a bad thing, but there could have been more, I guess, serious tones to it. Well, I mean, but some things do happen. We're like, okay, that was a little,
Yeah.
that was
Wow.
a change. That you didn't think they go. I don't want to explode it, but what Hela does to Thor,
Mhm.
that was like, oh wow, I didn't see that coming. I didn't think that would happen to the
Yeah.
character. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, during their fight scene.
Yeah.
That's all we'll say.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna fight.
Yep.
That's not
One of my
spoiling.
favorite parts, though, and I try not to spoil this either, but when what's his name, Hulk, when he just the actor, who's the actor's name?
Oh,
Mark Ruffalo. Yeah, when he jumps out of the plane.
Oh.
Did you know this is
That
the
part was
first
funny.
movie where Mark Ruffalo voices the Hulk?
Really?
What?
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Why?
Wow.
This is
Why haven't they done
because
it
there was
before?
more dialogue for Hulk in this movie, so he's now doing the voice, but it used to be someone else.
I like that they kind
I know
of
what you're talking about.
Yep, Hulk is more vocal.
More on him. On
yeah,
him.
he's probably the most vocal the Hulk has been.
Yeah.
Yes, even like in his own movies, he hasn't spoke that much.
Yeah,
let alone a Thor movie.
Yeah.
It took a Thor movie to get the Hulk to talk.
Yeah, but it was a good watch, fun watch. It's a popcorn movie. I'd say definitely watch it.
I really liked it, and I think it's mainly because from the Marvel movies, for some reason, the Thor movies had always been like my least favorite, and not because I didn't think they were not good, but standing alone with all the other Marvel movies,
yeah,
I always felt like they were the weakest, and I'm not sure. I mean, I don't really know why. I think I don't think there was as much humor in the first two movies.
No, there wasn't.
I get more of like a Guardians feel because it's in the same.
For this new one, I kind of get that.
Like the colors, like have like those really bright neon colors.
Even like from the trailer, I got like a Guardians vibe. It seemed real retro.
I liked it a lot.
I like that. I like that 80s like little flash.
Can we talk about Jeff Goldblum? Jeff Goldblum is still great. I'm sorry, Jeff Goldblum is a national treasure. Also, what?
Okay.
After the podcast. What?
No, nothing. No. I'm legitimately just having the giggles.
Oh, okay.
I thought I said something.
No. You guys are good. Jeff Goldblum?
Yeah. Yes, Jeff Goldblum.
I love Jeff Goldblum.
He's okay. You're gonna love him in this movie. He's just, I don't know. He's so like kind of quirky and he's so like awkward, but he plays it so well.
Yep.
He does.
He makes it part of his like character. Like
I do like him a lot.
He was perfect for that.
And he was great in come on.
In Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In Jurassic Park, he was amazing.
You watch The Fly.
He's like the laid back, guy.
Yeah, watch The Fly if you haven't seen it. That's a really good one also.
Oh, really? He's in that movie?
Yes.
He's the
Fly.
He's the Fly. Spoilers if you haven't seen it. He's the Fly.
He's the Bat. Okay.
I think we touched up enough on it. I mean, do we need any more recaps?
No.
I will say, Oh, go on.
I was just gonna say if you hadn't seen it, I would definitely recommend watching it. It's kind of,
I
feel like you can watch it and not have to really watch this first two, and you'll still understand it.
Yeah,
it helps to watch.
There's some stuff they touch up on from the second movie.
I'd say at least watch the second one because they do touch up on some stuff that happens in the second one.
Oh, I got that Matt Damon.
It was Matt Damon.
Yeah, it was Matt Damon. Yes, he was Loki in the play. Right?
Yeah. It was weird. I was like, is that Matt Damon? The whole time I was like, that's Matt Damon.
That's the first one with Matt Damon. I mean, the first
He's a small little cameo.
Yeah, small cameo. But it's nice that it's there. Like, hey, Matt Damon.
That's funny. Is Loki in this movie?
Yes,
watch
it.
Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's even in the trailer.
Is he?
Can we talk about his all black suit? Because I thought it was really cool.
That's why.
Was a cool suit.
Was it the one with the immigrant song by Led Zeppelin?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
he's in it.
It's when the song's playing, you see Loki and he his knives are in the air and he catches them.
Oh,
he's gonna fight.
If you haven't seen it, stay after. There's 2 scenes after the credits.
In every Marvel movie, just stay after the credits.
Yeah. There's usually
there's
usually a mid credit and then one at the very end.
The end credit one, I was a little confused. I didn't know what that was.
I think it relates to Guardians, right?
Yes.
It does. It's in relation to the Guardians.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I will say
Is there Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
Pretty sure there's gonna be one.
There will be one. It'll probably be after Avengers.
Hopefully it's as good as 2.
But
I'm hoping they introduce Nova.
Yeah. But at the end, there's what do you call it? You just see a big ship, but it's in relation to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, it is in relation to.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say I kind of was hoping we'd get a little more for Infinity War, maybe a little teaser snippet. But
no.
Probably Black Panther. Hopefully.
Yeah, we saw a trailer for Black Panther. That looks really
good. Yes,
it
actually looks really good.
Have you seen that Black Panther trailer, the newer one?
I think so.
Yeah.
I love Black Panther.
Wait, the one with Michael B. Jordan?
Yes.
Okay. Why is that funny?
Jerry's being weird. Are you sleep deprived?
No. Who's Michael B. Jordan?
He's the fighter in Creed, right?
He's Apollo Creed's son.
He's Apollo Creed's son, the fighter.
He's the Human Torch, the new Fantastic Four.
We saw them together.
Yeah.
That was
he looks unamused.
Oh my god.
No, but
it looks cool.
It looks like a refreshing. It's refreshing to see that in the Marvel universe. It looks different, so I'm really excited. So we'll definitely talk about that when it comes out. Okay, should we move on?
Yeah, so we have some Star Wars news, and I saw the internet was blowing up. I think this was yesterday, right? It was yesterday. The internet was blowing up.
A couple days ago. I know you sent me the link.
Freaking out. So I think you're a little more familiar with the news.
Yeah. So the director of this current movie coming out, the Last Jedi. I forget his name. Jerry, why are you laughing? Please
control
yourself, Jerry. Jeez.
Get it together, Jerry.
Yeah, and I wish I would have done my research on his name.
We can do a little. We'll put a link.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll probably look at it too.
Directors and lots of people.
There are. Anyway, the director for The Last Jedi is going to be directing his own trilogy. This is exciting because it's not going to tie into the Luke Skywalker storyline. It's going to be completely fresh.
Different.
Yeah, from a whole different.
Yeah, so I'm curious now if I could tell the director, what to touch upon. I'd really like to see them do a trilogy, if not a saga, on the Old Republic.
That's his name if you want to.
Okay, let me see his name. Ryan Johnson. Ryan Johnson?
I think it's Ryan. It's a weird way
Ryan
to spell
Johnson?
Ryan, but Ryan Johnson.
Yes.
Rian
Anyway,
Ryan.
yeah, he's going to make an entirely new trilogy.
Rian.
Yeah.
So
no date's been released, so I guess we're just kind of playing by ear at this point. Yeah.
I would guess 3 to 4 years. That way it gives episode 8, and then next year the Han Solo, and then episode 9.
So, but at this rate, I feel like every year we're probably going to get a Star Wars movie then.
Which I'm okay with.
I hope that they stop at 9, and then they... Because it's 7, 8, 9.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they do the pause from the prequels to episode 7. How long was that?
Oh my god, that was a long time.
Well, we're going to need it again. You need time to,
10 years?
Yeah, I was like,
No, I think part of
No,
why...
you need to let the current people understand all the movies, and then give that time.
I get it.
I get where you're coming from, but I don't think Disney will do that.
Yeah, no. There's too much money.
Maker.
Yeah.
No, they're not going to leave it on hold.
I mean, yeah. Did we really think they were going to stop at episode 9?
Yeah,
No, exactly. No, they bought them out for a reason. They're money makers. No, they're not going to stop. I will say I'm curious now if they're going to just do away with the episode numbers.
Yeah, I have
Go
a thing.
on.
So, because you remember that Disney was such a moneymaker, that just reminded me that Disney was actually talking to Fox.
Oh, about buying the X-Men?
Yes.
Wow.
They should.
Oh,
Yeah.
About
I am
what?
super excited. If they do
Because
that,
Fox
I'm gonna be
owns.
so happy.
Okay, Fox owns the X-Men, and Fox also owns Deadpool.
Yes.
Now, if we can have those guys along with the Marvel Universe,
Yeah, that's weird though. We can't merge them.
they're part of the Marvel
they're part
Universe.
Yeah, they're part
What?
There are comics titled X-Men versus the Avengers.
Deadpool.
Really?
Yes.
X-Men.
Yeah, the X-Men and Deadpool are in the Marvel Universe.
Yes.
So you think if they do merge, we'll see them in Avengers?
Yes.
I would love that.
No.
Hugh Jackman would come back.
Hugh Jackman even said he would come back if he could be in an Avengers movie.
Wow.
I would love to see him reprise the role as Wolverine.
Oh
And
yeah.
I think Disney would do a really good job too with retelling an X-Men story because I feel like they're just kind of lost with
They
the
have
X-Men
money.
stories
See,
already.
that's the thing. I love that's how they approach Spider-Man Homecoming, because everyone already knows the intro to Spider-Man. Okay,
Yeah.
everyone's seen it already. But with this, they didn't play it out. It was a breath of fresh air in terms of Spider-Man. So I would be down for them to get all the X-Men, because then there's so many possibilities with the comics. As a fan of all this.
Now, would you want the original
would you-
cast? Like of the X-Men, like the first X-Men, I forgot what his name was, but a Cyclops and
Yeah.
the original
Fantastic Four.
Jean Grey. Oh, we might get a good Fantastic Four.
We could get a good Fantastic
oh my
Four.
God.
What do you guys talk about? I thought the other was pretty good.
No, you didn't.
Wait,
No one did.
let's talk about this merge though. That's that's crazy. If Disney buys Fox, that means they buy all of their intellectual property, everything that they've
Disney's
ever.
gonna be a monopoly.
Yeah, that's a monopoly right there. Because no longer do you have DC versus Marvel. You have DC.
No, well,
No, that's still DC versus
DC's
Marvel.
I know,
Yeah.
but now they're existing not by separate entities, but as one whole big
But look,
corporation.
here's the thing. To me, I'm okay with this because they're doing good things with them. Okay, Star Wars was kind of going, down the drain. I liked the prequels, but they weren't by no means were they even par with the original trilogy.
Yeah, at least not 1 and 2. 3
Yeah.
was good, but 1 and 2.
And you can talk, all you want about. Episode 7 wasn't good. I didn't like Rogue One. I loved them. I liked it. I went in. I didn't have the movies on a pedestal that I'd never reach. I know I like them because they're Star Wars. I know I'm gonna love them. Even the Phantom Menace, as bad as it is, I love it. So I'm happy they're doing stuff with it. When they bought out Marvel, I was a little skeptical, and this was back when I was in high school. But you have the Avengers. Yes, they have the Avengers now. So I'm fine with this. Buy them.
Yes, it's so. Yeah, I would be really happy for that. But we're getting off topic.
Yeah,
We
let's
gotta
go back
to
really
Star
quick to
Wars.
Star
I'm sorry.
Wars.
I'm sorry.
Yes. If you guys haven't, there is a Star Wars game called The Old Republic, and they've released cinematic trailers for it. And this game came out years ago, and the cinematic trailers look so well done. I would be happy to see a movie on this, just so you could.
There's Gladys. Sorry.
Go on.
I would just the cinematic trailers alone. You know, if you have the time and you want to take out and watch it, they are very well done, and I would like to see it on the big screen. I think that would be very a very cool thing.
That is on YouTube, right?
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, we can link them in the podcast.
Yeah. Yes,
so
if you guys haven't, I do want to touch on. It'd be so cool to see what they showed in those cinematic worlds, which is an army of Sith against an army of Jedi. We've never seen that on the big screen.
Yeah.
That'd be freaking awesome.
That's because those cinematic, they're like episodes, right?
Yeah.
They're really short, but from what they are, they're so cool.
And
like I really want to move on that.
You know, like we could use practical effects.
Well, they're called cinematic trailers.
Oh yeah, but I mean for the movie or like a possible.
I'm sure they will do practical effects.
There's so many more.
Oh no, that's what I mean. No, yeah, definitely. No, I'd love to see a live action movie of that. What happens? Yeah. But I'm saying we've never seen that on the big screen. So that'd be really awesome. And I mean, the villains look cool too. It was Darth Malgus.
I don't want it to look like the Clone Wars, you know.
Oh no!
I don't want it to look like something.
No, I think they know that Star Wars sells and they can spare no expense on their budget.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why George Lucas thought that was fine to begin with.
So I think you guys are a little more familiar, like with the different stories. Do you know of any like different stories that they, beside the Old Republic, that they might explore?
Was it Raven?
Was he Darth Sidious's master?
I don't remember too much. I would have to talk to my buddy Alex.
He was like a powerful Sith Lord.
Yes and no. Raven is actually Revan or Raven.
I think it was Revan.
Yeah. So Revan is actually one of the few that traveled or that worked on both sides of the Force. I think he was a Jedi that went to Sith, or a Sith that went to Jedi, and like he ultimately discovered that there was no difference, and I think he had the Gray Jedi, or he started the Gray Jedi. I don't know. But I think he became a Gray Jedi because he's like, there's no difference between the Sith and the Jedi, et cetera, et cetera.
And there's always that argument that, you know, the Jedi are actually evil and the Sith aren't, you know. So it'd be cool to see them touch upon the Gray Jedi way of the Force.
I would love if they touched up on the Jedis in the new movie. And Jerry, what is wrong with you?
What is so funny?
What's happening?
I don't know. Continue.
Okay. Wait, so are we done talking about Star Wars, or should we?
I mean, I can go on and on about Star Wars, but
we went on and
we'll save that for when the movie comes out. We'll dedicate the whole episode to Star Wars.
Do you think we're gonna get more
That's
information?
That's gonna be so far from now.
No, it's not. It's like a month away.
I thought you were talking about the new
trilogy.
those properties.
Oh no! We'll do a whole Star Wars episode when the movie comes out.
You think they're really gonna talk about it when the trilogy's over? Then we're gonna get like.
I'm pretty sure they'll release more.
They'll probably flesh out what direction they're gonna go with.
At the end of episode 8.
Or not.
Ooh, they should start doing like little.
Like Marvel.
I don't know. I feel like leave the after credit stuff to Marvel.
Yeah,
like they already have that. Yeah.
I think Star Wars is fine as it is, and I don't think they need anything after the credits.
Yeah, I don't think they need to entice anyone.
No,
Marvel needs
they're
to.
They're gonna sell. Yeah, they're gonna sell. Yeah. Now, do you think they're gonna like do it by episode number? Are they gonna redo the episode number?
I think what they're gonna do. What I think they're gonna do is they're going to just put it like Star Wars and then the title, kind of like how Rogue One was.
Yeah.
The only thing that I'm a bit concerned about, and it's not even that big a deal, but it is to me, is, you know, in Rogue One it didn't have the cinematic intro.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll keep that. God damn it, Jerry.
Jerry.
I want to laugh too.
What is happening?
The thing is, Gladys, our cat, was trying to like. She was a
What?
So the reason I did that turn is because I look and Gladys, their cat, is right here trying to get up on my chair. I'm like, okay.
She loves that chair.
So then I come back and I start continue talking, but I am trying to keep it professional. I'm trying to hold it in. But Jerry over there is losing his shit. I don't know what was so funny. I just looked, it was there. I was like, okay, move on with it.
So she came here.
Yeah, she was
that one, she did that look like, oh, maybe no, it's out there. Okay.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Great podcast.
Sorry. I'm not.
Sorry.
Okay, so we have about.
Wait, no, continue, Bryan.
What? No, I was done.
Did you not listen?
I was done.
Hold on, I'm moving that
laptop.
Okay.
Go on, continue talking.
All right, so we have about 15 minutes left of the podcast,
Okay, so
and we're going to talk about Games Week last week in Paris, and we got some really cool trailers. Did you see all the trailers?
I did not. I only saw the Last of Us one. But
Okay, so let's start off with the Last of Us trailer because it was.
The Last of Us 2.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The Last of Us 2. It was. It wasn't what I was expecting. Like it was really different.
Yeah, it was a lot more different. We didn't see Joel or Ellie, which but we did see them in the first teaser.
Yeah.
What was it at E3 last year?
This year, no, it was last year.
Yeah, it was last year. We didn't get a Last of Us trailer at E3 this year. It might have that or like the Sony Expo last year.
Yeah, that was the Sony Expo.
Yeah, there you go. Sony press conference. But it was a lot different than what I had imagined. It was a lot more gruesome.
I think that was the point of it.
Yeah, and but to say the least, I really liked it. And Last of Us, I loved it. I need to go back and beat it again on grounded mode, which is like you don't get the hearing like on the wall. I was like midway through on that, but I just stopped playing.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
No, like Bryan says, I feel like, I mean, it could have either been just, this are two new characters or some new characters that are going to be part of the story.
There's some speculation that one is her mom.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because she has like a similar tattoo or something that was mentioned in the first game.
Huh.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's that,
But
or it was just, hey, here's a trailer and we want to show you how dark we're going to make this game. Apparently, from what I read an article that I want to say one of the developers said this game is for adults.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah.
They're
If you
coming
played
out
the first
and they're
game,
like,
you
hey,
agree.
this is what the game is.
Yeah.
Play at your risk. Play at your own risk.
So I'm excited. I mean, like I said, I played the first one a little late. But I mean, I got to experience first on PS4, so that was cool.
Yeah, I was about to say, I played that game too, but this is literally a week after, like, a couple weeks after the release date on PlayStation 3. That's how that's how old. That was a long time ago I played that game. Back when I had a PlayStation 3, and by far one of the like darkest games I've ever played.
Yeah.
So like intense. I don't think any game has even come close to being that intense before in a zombie themed game. A lot of times these zombie games are just like cartoonish kind of games, but this one explores really dark tones and kind of like realistic.
And this one also rips your heart out.
It does. Absolutely. If you have not played the game, play the first 10, 15 minutes of the game.
Yeah,
it's
really
and you should be enticed
invested.
immediately and want to be like, okay, I want to finish this game now.
Yeah. But it's good. And the DLC, did you play the DLC?
I didn't play the DLC.
It's really good.
I played some of it.
It's really good.
I didn't know they had DLC.
You explore a lot who Ellie is before everything happened.
Oh, cool.
It's I believe it comes with the remastered edition. So it's already in there. I need to play it. But no, I'm really excited for it. And I mean, I'm positive it'll deliver. Naughty Dog right now is like on a roll. So with Uncharted,
games are they responsible for?
Uncharted, what do you call it? Well, the original Crash Bandicoot.
Not the Insane Trilogy. That was revamped.
But they remastered the Naughty Dog games, which were the original three. Jack and Daxter, and then Uncharted. So I mean, they make phenomenal games, and I'm really excited to see where they go with this.
Yeah.
One I'm really excited for is Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Did you watch the trailer?
I did not, but even then, I just saw the E3 trailer, and I'm already convinced that
there was more. It touched more on the story, like where they're gonna go with the story direction. Okay. The villain, I don't think he's been a villain before. The way the Arkham Knight has never been a villain.
Oh, okay.
They made him for the game. So it's interesting.
I like it though because it's different. You don't have like a movie to kind of base it off of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like fresh. I like when games especially superhero games are like that.
Watch it's like the villain's Aunt May or something stupid like that. I'm just saying because I was upset.
It's Uncle Ben.
I'm going a little off topic, but I was upset with who the Arkham Knight was because I immediately was like, I told myself it better not be this character, and sure enough, it was that character. I'm like, well, dude, really? Like it could have.
So it was predictable.
To me, it was. I mean, it could have been anybody else except that character, and he was. So I was a little upset at that.
Yeah, actually, I liked for the Arkham Knight. I like the idea that it was Alfred. It's not.
That would have been cool.
Because there was one of the comic issues. I don't know if you ever saw that.
Was that Alfred becomes the Joker?
Yeah.
That was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool. It's really cool
anyway, so the story, I guess, I mean, there's no spoilers in it. It just kind of shows what direction they're going with. They have this new villain.
Jerry, we're on a podcast.
Sorry,
Stop messing with Gladys.
Stop messing with the cat. Anyway,
as
far as older villains, the only one you get a quick glimpse of is the Shocker.
Ooh.
So that's really cool.
The Shocker.
The Shocker,
what
yeah.
What is that supposed to be? A weapon?
The villain.
villain.
The Shocker.
He's a weapon.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Did you see Spider-Man: Homecoming?
Yes.
That guy was supposed to be the Shocker, the one with the glove and like who hits him.
Oh.
He was supposed to be the Shocker,
Okay.
but I mean this. In the comics, he has these two gloves, and he's kind of like his power shock waves.
You should have just left her. Now you look like an ass on the podcast.
This is the snippet we're using for Facebook.
Oh my god.
Peter's gonna be all on this podcast.
I'm gonna put it on slow motion.
A close up of Brandon's face.
Jesus.
Peter's gonna be all on this, on me.
Reporting you to PETA.
Yeah. Tag him in this.
Tagging them.
Oh, this is horrible.
Anyway,
Okay.
Continuing on.
What I'm excited to talk about, because I feel like we kind of have different opinions on it. The new Detroit trailer. What did you think?
Emotional. That's what I think.
I haven't seen
Emotional.
For some reason, I was really excited when they released the first trailer, and for some reason, they kind of lost me with this one.
Which I'm
hold
curious
on.
why, because it's
The footage we got at E3, I feel like it was with this trailer. They tried. It was more like an emotional take. They tried pulling on our heartstrings, but for me, it was just that's been played out for me already. I think the whole like, I don't know, little kid.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Quantic Dream kind of. Quantic Dream is the developer for this game, and games like Beyond Two Souls and Heavy Rain, they're kind of capitalizing all the time on pulling on people's heartstrings. Yeah. Those two games are extremely emotional, and with with Detroit Become Human, the first kind of trailers we saw for this game were more action based.
Yeah.
None of them were very sentimental.
Yeah.
I think E3 they kind of capitalized on this. Really badass kind of game where we saw rebellious robots against everyone. That was really cool. I love that trailer a lot. And if you see, that trailer has more views than this trailer. Yeah. But I think they could have. I think they're just trying to. We're getting closer to release date of 2018, so they kind of just want to show all aspects of this game. Yeah. So they intrigued us with the whole action packed version, and now they're intriguing us with the whole heartstring version. And I like it though. It's good.
Maybe it wasn't so much the story they were trying to tell. It was like the way it was told. To me, I was just kind of like, I don't know why it like lost me.
Really?
I think that I'd have to.
Is it Gladys?
It happened
a little bit.
I hope so.
God.
Sorry, Brian. What?
So my thing is that I haven't seen this trailer. Maybe this trailer will change my mind. But even with the first trailer at E3, I wasn't too invested in this game.
Yeah,
I'm not. It's not a title that I'm super invested in. Like, oh, I have to go buy it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, maybe I'll get it if it's on sale.
Maybe.
But
I think.
But it's just for me. It looks kind of like Until Dawn in the aspect that you keep making choices.
Yeah.
And Until Dawn was okay, but I don't think I would buy it. Like my friend got it. And, he brought it over, and even then it was free like a couple months ago on PlayStation. Mm. But even then. It's just one of those like, oh, you make choices and the story, but I just don't. It just doesn't entice me the way that most other games do. So I don't know. I just don't think it's for me.
Well, I
Brandon, you hit a cat. Get over it.
Brian, I agree with you, and I think I agree with you, and I think Sony knows this too, because they're not really. If you see Sony's direction, they're kind of not pushing this game into our faces as much as they are with Days Gone.
Days Gone looks
great.
Days Gone is also Naughty Dog, right?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know.
I think it is.
Actually. I think Sony's kind of. I think this is just a game for the people that love Quantic Dream and kind of want a more story-based game from Sony instead of the multiplayer aspects, because in a way The Last of Us could be multiplayer.
Last of Us was multiplayer.
Yeah, so it was multiplayer. I think,
it was really fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. So I think this is more for a game for that niche audience. That
I really like those games, but I feel like they have like this really cool story. Like, tell that story. Like, why are you giving us this weird little sob story with this little girl? I don't care about that. I want this badass dude who's like trying to break the government. Like give me that. I don't want all this side stuff, because then now I'm wondering what they're telling. What's happening around the main storyline.
I don't know. When I first saw the trailer, what was it, last year's E3? I think we got a our first trailer to it. I was intrigued. Like, man, that looks cool. I like the idea of choices. Until Dawn intrigued me. That was actually one game I sat down and watched the entire walkthrough. I never do that. But
I totally agree with you. That game caught me by such surprise. I remember being at E3 and we went to this like 30-minute demo, and I was like, I'm not gonna like this game. I'm only doing it because it's one of the hard games that Sony's pushing out for everyone to play. I don't even know what it's about. I went completely blind in the demo. It's such, I said this before, it's such a weird take on, because most of the time we think of these monsters or these, other beings, zombies, to be mindless, and we also see a lot of times survivors to be working together as a pact to save themselves. Yeah. This game just breaks those laws. Zombies are smart, intelligent, they can make, traps. Monsters.
They're Wendigos.
Wendigos can make plans to sabotage you. And not only that, on top of that, survivors and other people that are trying to, like, survive as well are also, like, exchanging gunfire with you and, like, your characters in the game. So it's really interesting. I like it. It's a weird take on, this whole...
So if it's anything like Until Dawn, I'm intrigued. I'm going to buy it. It's one game I'm going to get.
I'm gonna buy it once I get a PlayStation.
Anyway,
really quick. I know we had talked about it, but they had those guys that were dressed up as the robots
at E3. Yes, it was amazing. Cool. They were really cool, and they would talk very That was nice. They're awesome.
Okay, so lastly, we have a new God of War trailer, right?
I wouldn't.
Or was it some gameplay?
It's more gameplay than trailer. Okay. But I mean, it's what you expect. Kratos is kicking ass. The perspective is different. It's it's always been third person, but it's like over the shoulder third person in this one. The other was more. It almost had a fixed angle, right?
Yeah,
the original
fixed
3
angle from the third person.
You actually played those. I mean, you probably educate us on some God of War.
Oh man, so God of War was always really fun. I remember 100% the first game. The second one I was playing a bit. Second one I beat. The third one I didn't get to beat because I think that was when we had the pack and then it got stolen or something.
I think so, yeah. I have it now though.
I guess I can go play back now. But it was really fun. There was a lot of beat 'em up, and I never really found it to be too challenging though. As much as it was a beat 'em up. Well, it's because when there's games like that with mass villains and a very easy to understand combat system, I've always been very quick to learn it.
Yeah, if anything, the villains were smaller villains. Were kind of just more like things that are in the way. Like, okay, just brush through them.
Yeah, like the Minotaurs and stuff, like easy, nothing really too big.
I'm curious how the combat system is going to be in this one, because apparently also what this trailer showed was there's things in the environment too you can use, like the sun. I guess he helps you. I was like, up there, and there's a jar. And you throw his axe, it'll come down, and it explodes.
That's cool.
I think this trailer really I think they tried showcasing the relationship with his son and how he's kind of like a tool to help you in your environment. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they'd really seen that in the other trailers. So
no, I think out of the game we're gonna get a good strong story. One thing I did like, it was so subtle, but in the first trailer we got was when they're hunting, and he tells his kid to get the the deer? Or
yeah.
It's like
yeah. Well, when he does it, what do you call it? He tells him, okay, finish the job, kill it, and the kid's like, I can't. So he kind of assists him, right? And you see the kid kind of down. He kind of looks away. And Chris, it's so subtle. He puts his hand up, like he's gonna put his hand on his kid's shoulder, but he doesn't. He kind of does that and he puts it down, brushing up back on it. There's that subtle moment where in the first trailer where the kid, he helps him, assists him in killing the deer, and the kid, he's hurt by it. I guess it's his first kill. He sympathizes with these animals, and Kratos sees that his kid's looking away, and he puts his hands up. Like he's gonna put his hand over his son's shoulder, but he doesn't. And I don't know, I just think that adds character to him. Why are you laughing?
I feel like, that's...
It's just the way that Jerry right now is reminding me of Jonah Hill, and This Is the End, because Brandon's he puts his hands up and he's subtle, and Jerry's over there mimicking like. And I'm just like, why?
And he doesn't. He doesn't do it.
No. We've never seen, I guess, that side to Kratos.
And I think that's back
Unless,
to the humanizing.
No, you see, the thing is, it doesn't. Kratos doesn't really get humanized too often because in the at least in the first 2 games that I remember, it's always him angry at the gods because of what they did to his, or at least in the first one it's because of what Ares did to him, and then in the second one it's because he just becomes like really all power, and then Zeus tries to like take that away, and then in the third one he's betrayed by the gods, and then. Well, no, actually, in the second one, he's betrayed by the gods. And then the third one, I think he gets betrayed by the Titans.
You are a God of War fans.
PlayStation.
Yeah?
Is
that a hard first-party PlayStation game?
It was an exclusive, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was an inch close from getting the God of War PlayStation 3, the red one.
Ooh.
That one was nice.
Yeah, I was gonna get it. It was like 500 gigs was a lot, and it came with it came with all the games, and it was either that or like the PlayStation Motion bundle, and I just got the Motion one instead. But I was like, God.
No, but I mean the fact that to touch up on Greek mythology, that was an instant. That's why I want to play it. I like that's why you want to play
it. I'm a big fan of Greek mythology, and I'm liking that this one is doing a lot of Norse mythology. Because I'm also getting into a lot of Norse mythology. I know that like the Thor movies, Thor, Odin, Loki. I'm hoping we see Loki's son Fenrir in here. I'm hoping we see Freya, which is the leader of the Valkyries. I'm hoping to see a lot of Norse mythology characters.
All right, I guess with that being said,
was there anything else at Games Week that we didn't
I don't know.
Well, I mean, this is off topic, but the Xbox One X came out.
Oh yeah, November 7th.
Woo, yay!
No, none of us got it because none of us have 4K. Well, we don't have. 4K.
I mean, what game do I play? Care to play?
Even then, so the only game you would probably get is Minecraft in 4K because you've bought Minecraft like freaking 20 times.
Well, I think it's an update. It carries on.
Whatever, who cares? No, so you see, look, the thing about the Xbox One X and the reason why I wouldn't get it is because it's saying like, oh, it's so graphically enhanced. Mm-hmm. Look at this, look at that. Here's Minecraft. Here's Forza. I don't play Minecraft or Forza. I don't like those games. I think would be a waste of money to spend. How much is it?
It's $500.
Yeah, I'm not gonna spend $500 to get an Xbox One X with very few Xbox exclusive titles. Mm-hmm. Whereas a PS4 has a lot more.
I was going to say, call me crazy, and I'm against a little off topic, well, in relation to what we're talking about, but I feel like if Xbox continues the way they're going, I feel like they're going to find themselves in Nintendo's position.
Mm-hmm. I honestly already feel like they're getting in Nintendo's
position. You know what's happening? It used to be like Microsoft and then Nintendo, and now it's like, it's completely... I mean, we already saw it at E3. Nintendo had more money than Microsoft and basically bought their spot twice, and now Microsoft.
They just need to make a new exclusive or like a big exclusive that's gonna stand out and put them back on the map. I mean,
oh man, what was that one that they had that like
Scalebound?
Scalebound.
They should have done that.
I really wanted to see.
I would have played that.
I was real good. Brandon talked a lot about that.
That looked like it had that DMC vibe, and I would have immediately jumped on that because I love DMC.
It was just very graphically intense.
It looked cool.
It looked so beautiful.
The guy looked, and the guy reminded me very DMC-esque. He reminded me like Dante. He had like the headphones, and he was like very punkish.
Yeah.
And I like that. And then it had dragons.
Yep.
Yeah, and like I think I want to see.
Who doesn't like dragons?
And anything guns, sword wielding. I know sword wielding for you is like that's awesome.
Yes,
it looks cool.
Didn't he like jump in the air and then like the armor come down?
Yeah,
and I was like, and then they edited it like that, and you were like, okay.
And I was like, this game looks amazing. And then
they tell you, oh no,
this game is canceled, and I'm like,
this game's canceled because we're gonna bring you Halo Wars 2.
Yeah, it was sad.
So I don't know. I feel like they're kind of getting themselves. They're putting themselves in that position.
Yeah, they are.
So
I just hope with this new console they start actually making games for it. Because if they just make the console and rely on,
what's the point? Yeah.
I don't know if you saw. What's his name? McCaffrey, the guy from IGN.
Mm-hmm, no.
He like somebody had to put stuff on Twitter because he was getting like all this hate for like
reviewing the Xbox.
His job is he's more Xbox.
Yeah,
that's part of his job.
That's his division.
Yeah, so he was like talking about Xbox stuff, and like his Twitter was just getting like all this shit. So he was like, guys, this is my job. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. But it's crazy.
Xbox hasn't released anything. And even then, even the fans are getting tired of it. Like, I know Halo 5 came out. No, like, not a lot of people like Halo 5.
But 2 years ago, right?
Yeah. And then Gears of War 4. Not a lot of people like Gears of War 4 either. And then the most recent, like, exclusive that I can think of that was Xbox that I thoroughly enjoyed was Cuphead. But even then, that's just a Steam game as well.
Yeah.
Like,
where are their new first parties?
I think Xbox funded for them to finish Cuphead.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
but still, that's not their idea.
We need more. We haven't had one fresh first party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nintendo, we had ARMS. That was a strong first really party.
Fun.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to get started on ARMS. ARMS had me between I love this game and I want to snap the Switch.
But it's bold of Nintendo to make a new game.
I think my last statement would be if not, if they're going to continue with the Halo and Gears of War games, take a fresh take on it, the way Odyssey did with Mario.
Yeah.
We've had the same storyline for years with Mario, which is Save the Princess, and they've done it so well.
And they've been so different each time.
Yes.
And they can retell. I mean, they can tell a Halo story that's good if they want to, but it's like they don't. There's as much as I love Master Chief, we have Red Team, we have Blue Team, like. There's stories that can be told, and they're not.
Also,
they haven't
like
really
I saw something that was like they've been using the same engine for like the past like 3 Halo games, and they've been using like I don't know lots of like the same textures, but they've never actually like built a new Halo game or a new first party game from the ground up with a whole new
Halo
physics.
4 was super different with the Prometheans.
Yeah, but no. That's story wise though. But I'm talking about just like the way the game works. Like they've been rehashing the same engine for all these games when we see Sony and stuff just making fresh, new, clean
even like
engines.
Crash Bandicoot was built from the ground up.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't like a nice little mask over the game. No, it was completely redesigned, and it was awesome. I loved it. It was cool seeing that animation. But I think we're gonna we do have to wrap this up. Now I apologize ahead in advance for it'd be a weird podcast and me pushing the cat. It was just instinct. I was like,
Let's head on to the weird Xbox thing really fast. I no way want to say I want Xbox to fail or I want Nintendo and PlayStation. No. I want them to learn from this. I want it to be the way it was in 2006 when the 360 came out and all 3 of the gaming companies, Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, were all like kicking ass. Like each one of them respectively their own different ways though.
I think
I disagree. I would, because if you're saying when the 360 came out, that was when the Wii came out. The Wii was a shit.
I think
it had good sales though.
Okay, I think more so. I think all Xbox and GameCube were all 3 kicking ass.
The GameCube.
I just want all 3 companies to just
be at their prime, making badass shit.
Because right now Sony's like, in sales wise, it's standing the ground, and then Nintendo's picking themselves up, but Xbox is just falling down, and lots of consumers are getting confused on what consoles to get because of all the controversy and like sales surrounding, and it sucks. It sucks because now we have like. Nothing to talk about Xbox. We have so much to talk about Nintendo.
Yeah, that's how. And I'd be like upset too if Sony was in that position. Like, man, I love Sony. I play PlayStation forever, and I mean, it sucks to see them going down.
Actually, since we're going to talk about Nintendo, let's go halfsies on the Mario Party.
The
DS one.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that. Okay. Anyway, so I guess that being said, we'll probably wrap this one up. All right, guys, remember we are at how many subscribers right now?
50. No, I'm sorry, 48.
48? Yeah, nice. All right, guys, we're almost halfway there to raffle this off. Remember, the first 100 subscribers will enter a raffle to win this Scarlett Solo audio device. But yeah, just again, like always, make sure your subscription settings are set to public and not private so we can see you, have a fair raffle.
Yes.
And like always, like, subscribe.
We're on Facebook, and we're on Twitter.
iTunes.
And we're on iTunes. So... check it out.
Guys, all right, and with that being said, we will see you guys next time, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah.